Good morning. Today we continue with our reading of our Christian classic, John Bunyan's The Pilgrim's Progress. Christian has just been relieved of the burden on his back and now continues in his journey. Christian, seeing simple sloth and presumption lying in the case, went to them, if peradventure he might awake them. And he cried, "You are like them that sleep on the top of a mast, for the Dead Sea is under you, a gulf that hath no bottom. Awake, therefore, and come away, be willing also, and I will help you off with your irons." He also told them, "If he that goeth about like a roaring lion comes by, you will certainly become a prey to his teeth." With that they looked upon him, and began to reply in this sort. Simple said, "I see no danger." Sloth said, "Yet a little more sleep." And Presumption said, "Every one must stand upon his own feet. What is the answer that I should give thee?" And so they lay down to sleep again, and Christian went on his way. Yet he was troubled to think that men in that danger should so little esteem the kindness of him that so freely offered to help them, both by awakening of them, counseling of them, and proffering to help them with their irons. And as he was troubled thereabout, he espied two men come tumbling over the wall, one on the left of the narrow hand, and they made a pace to him. The name of one was Formalist, the name of the other was Hypocrisy. So as I said, they drew up unto him, who entered thus with them into discourse. Christian said, "Gentlemen, whence are you, and whither do you go?" Formalist and Hypocrisy, "We were born in the land of vainglory, and we are going for praise to Mount Sion." "Why came you not in at the gate which standeth at the beginning of the way? Know you not that it is written that he cometh not by the door, but climbeth up by some other way? He the same is a thief and a robber." They said, that to go to the gate for entrance was all by their countrymen counted too far about, and that therefore their usual way was to make a short cut of it, and to climb over the wall as they had done. Christian said, "But will it not be counted as a trespass against the Lord of the city, whether we are bound thus to violate his revealed will?" They told him, that, as for that, he needed not to trouble his head thereabout, for what they did they had custom for, and could produce, if need were, testimony that would witness it for more than 1,000 years. But said Christian, "Will your practice stand a trial at law?" They told him, that custom, it being of so long a standing as above 1,000 years, would doubtless now be admitted as a thing legal by any impartial judge. And besides, they said, so be we get into the way, what's matter which way we get in? If we are in, we are in. Thou art but in the way, who, as we perceive, came in at the gate. And we also are in the way that came tumbling over the wall. Where now is thy condition better than ours?" Christian said, "I walk by the rule of my master. You walk by the rude working of your fancies. You are counted thieves already by the Lord of the way. Therefore I doubt you will not be found true men at the end of the way. You come in by yourselves without his direction, and shall go out by yourselves without his mercy." To this they made him but little answer, only they bid him look to himself. Then I saw that they went on every man in his way, without much conference with one another, save that of these two men told Christian, that is, as to laws and ordinances, they doubted not, but they should as conscientiously do them as he. Therefore said they, "We see not wherein thou differest from us, but by the coat that is on thy back, which was, as we trow, given thee by some of thy neighbors, to hide the shame of thy nakedness." Christian said, "By laws and ordinances you will not be saved, since you came in not by the door. And as for this coat that is on my back, it was given me by the Lord of the place whither I go, and that, as you say, to cover my nakedness with. And I take it as a token of his kindness to me, for I had nothing but rags, and besides, thus I comfort myself as I go. Surely, think I, when I come to the gate of the city, the Lord thereof will know me for good, since I have his coat on my back, a coat he freely gave me in the day that he stripped me of my rags. I have moreover a mark on my forehead, of which perhaps you have taken no notice. which one of my Lord's most intimate associates fixed there on the day that my burden fell off my shoulders. I will tell you, moreover, that I had been then given a roll sealed to comfort me by reading as I go in the way. I was also bid to give it in at the celestial gate in token of my certain going in after it. After which all things, which things I doubt you want, and want them because you came not in at the gate. To these they gave him no answer, only they looked upon each other and laughed. Then I saw that they went on, save that Christian kept before, who had no more talk but with himself, and that sometimes sighingly, and sometimes comfortably, as he would also be often reading in the roll that one of the shining ones gave him, by which he was refreshed. I believe then that they all went on till they came to the foot of a hill, at the bottom of which was a spring. There was also in the same place two other ways besides that which came straight from the gate. One turned to the left and the other to the right at the bottom of the hill. But the narrow way lay right up the hill, and the name of going up the side of the hill is called Difficulty. Christian now went to the spring and drank thereof to refresh himself, and then began to go up the hill, saying, This hill, though high, I covet to ascend. The difficulty will not me offend, for I perceive the way to life lives here. Come, pluck up heart, let's neither faint nor fear. Better, though difficult, the right way to go, than wrong, though easy, where the end is woe. The other two also came to the foot of the hill, but when they saw the hill was steep and high, and that there were two other ways to go, and supposing also these two ways might meet again, with that up which Christian went, on the other side of the hill. Therefore they were resolved to go in those ways. The name of one of those ways was Danger, and the other was Destruction. So the one took the way which is called Danger, which led him into a great wood, and the other took the way directly up to Destruction, which led him into a wide field of dark mountains, where he stumbled and fell, and rose no more. I looked then after Christian to see him go up the hill, where I perceived he fell from running to going, and from going to clambering upon his hands and knees because of the steepness of the place. Now about midway up the hill was a pleasant arbor, made by the Lord of the hill for the refreshing of weary travailers. Thither therefore Christian got, where he also sat down to rest him. Then he pulled his roll out of his bosom and read therein to his comfort. He also now began afresh to take a review of the coat of the garment that was given him as he stood by the cross. Thus pleasing himself for a while, he at last fell into a slumber, and thence into a fast sleep, which detained him in that place till it was almost night. And in his sleep his roll fell out of his hand. Now as he was sleeping, there came to him one who awaked him, saying, Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways, and be wise. And with that Christian suddenly started up, sped him on his way, and went to a place till he came to the top of the hill. Well, today's reading with formality and hypocrisy, very interesting. Those who are trying to get to the celestial city by the works of the law, and trying then therefore to get in another way, not by the way of the cross. Very, very interesting description here, and especially interesting not just their approach but the response of Christian, that in some measure he was discouraged by their not just by their disobedience, but by the reality that they were on the road with him at this point. And that seems to be discouraging to him. And he has to hold on to what he knows, that to follow the Lord of the city is the best course, and to follow his direction, to follow his instruction about how to be released of his burdens, and how to follow, and how to attain, or how to get to the celestial city. And so in the aftermath of that discussion with those two men, it's noteworthy there that Bunyan notes that discouragement, because it's a discouragement familiar to to Christians. It's when you look at the world around us, it seems that many people are prospering, that many people are doing well, or that they seem to be on a good course in their life. And there's a challenge in that for us to remember to hold on to the truth that we've received from the Lord Jesus. And one of the ways to hold on to that truth, which Bunyan notes, is the role that Bunyan's Christian pulls out and reads, of course, being God's revelation, the scriptures. And as he reads those scriptures, he is renewed, he is encouraged again. So it's a really applicable reading today. And don't try to come in any other way. You come in through Jesus, who is the way, the truth, and the life. And then once coming in by that way, don't choose any other way as we go. It's kind of the message of Galatians. You began with the Spirit. You began by faith, and now trying to go to works. And we don't want to do that through formality or hypocrisy. Through the works of the law, no one will be justified. But this righteousness apart from the law has come in Jesus. So hope you have a good day, and thanks for listening today.